and welcome to another live with Shelly on Saturday night. I am so happy to be on with all of you. So if you're joining me, give me a quick hello. Let me know that you're out there. Put something in the comments. I'm live on both Facebook and YouTube tonight. And so if you're out there joining me, wherever you are, I'd like to know who you are and where you're at. Just come on and say hello. It's been a really great month so far, and we're in the middle of February, and I just finished the third Strokes of Joy workshop with a really great group. We've been having a really good month, learning a lot. These guys are really stretching me, and I know I'm stretching them based on some of their expressions in today's class. So we did some challenging roses today, and we learned how to paint on glass and all the fun stuff about that. We're going to be learning more about these roses and adding centers to different flowers and putting shading around our roses to learn how to correctly shade and correctly load our brushes for shading. Today they learned how to properly sponge in a background, just a simple background on a canvas. And I can actually show you. Oh, no, I can't. I put it in my other room. Sorry. What we worked on today. But anyway, they're in my other room because I have to do a worksheet for all of them. So they're getting lots of learning opportunities in this, and I think I'm growing from it as well. So let's see who's joining tonight. We have, hello, Lee and Maureen. Hi, Kathy from upstate New York. Hello, Maureen, love my shorts. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying those. I apologize for that daisy. I shouldn't even have put that short video up because that daisy, my hand got in the way. But I learned a lot from that one. I learned what not to do. And I think the back half of it was better than the front half. So hopefully you still were able to see and enjoy that. So hello, Joy. Thank you for joining. And on YouTube, we have hello, Lois, Greg, Pat. Thank you. Glad you liked the hair. Got it done. Hello, Lorene and Teresa. Thank you for joining, guys. Okay, so yeah, we've been having a great month with that Strokes of Joy workshop, and still there's room available if anyone still wants to get into that. The recordings and everything are available to send to you immediately. So if you want to get into that, it's not too late. And even afterwards, guys, remember all of my videos, all my classes that I do recordings on, those all go up on my website afterwards for sale. So if you didn't get into it when it first aired, not to worry, you can always go and get it later. And sometimes I offer really good sales, so you want to watch out for that too. Let's see, Linda Garbett. Hello, Curtis. Love the Strokes of Joy. You're learning so much. Yes, Linda, you're stretching me, girl. You're getting me to do lots. Elaine Reed, anxious for this tutorial. All right, so we've got our really cool tulip that we're going to be doing tonight in my demo. And some of you even asked for the paint list in advance. So if you're going to paint along with me, that would be wonderful. Nice to know I'm not painting by myself. And if you do, please share your pictures. I love seeing how you do, and I would love to share it with everybody else too. So Curtis, you got my picture. Wonderful. All right, so that reminds me. Let me make a quick note here before I forget. I forgot we're giving those birds as giveaways. So tonight's giveaways, we're going to be doing our little tufted titmouse. This is from last month's Paintabilities classes. So we have the tufted titmouse, and then we have the bullfinches. Okay, so we'll be giving those away, one to each lucky winner on YouTube and Facebook. And I'm doing this because they're on my screens right here. So not that it matters to any of you. Hello, Cecilia from Ohio. Wonderful. And Leanne from Ontario, Canada. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining. All right. So so I was saying, so February's been a great month, and the workshop's been going very well. And then we just finished the first of the two project classes, right? So we have the warm sailings, Yeah, warm sailing that we just completed this past Tuesday. So this video is ready, done, and can be sent out to anybody who wants it, and that's $30 for that. And then we have our second class this month, which is the Pot of Gold, and that's going to be this fun little guy, right, on the wood cutout from Unfinished Wood Co. And it has the detachable shamrock, right? So it's 2 pieces. You get 2 pieces off of unfinishedwoodco.com for $11 plus shipping. And we're doing this class on February 25th. So you still have time. Jeff ships these really fast, guys. So if you want to get into that class still, you can. There is a link that I will share. It's actually, if you go to my website to sign up for the class, and my website, if you don't know, is michellemybelledesigns.com. There's a link right here on my page if you're watching on Facebook or on my YouTube channel. Both of them have links to my website. You go under Learn to Paint and Classes. You will see the class posting for this month. You can get individual classes for $30 each. So the Pot of Gold was $30. And on the Pot of Gold class listing, there is a link to the surface kit for this class. So you can order that. It's sold separately from a different company from me. And he ships those very quickly. And that, if you get both classes this month, right, they're at $30 each. If you get both, they're $52. Now, if you come back and watch next week, I got to put this pencil down. I'm waving it in my face. If you come back and watch next week, next Sunday, a Saturday, will be my last live for February. I will have my March class samples done and ready to share. And I will tell you that one of them is on a wooden lighthouse cutout from that same company. So we're going to be using my boat stencil and creating a really cool landscape on a lighthouse cutout. So it's going to be pretty amazing. I'm excited about that. So come back and watch me next Saturday for sure, so you can see those and get in on those. There is another class going along with that. So YouTube channel's been doing really good this month, and I think you guys have been enjoying the large bird classes. Remember, they're free classes that drop every Monday at noon on paintabilities on my YouTube channel. And so this is what's coming up this Monday. We're going to be doing this really cool flamingo, and I'm going to share with you. I did this on another wood piece. This is from Plaid. This is, I think they call this a floating frame wood piece. So this is going to be this coming Monday, so you want to watch and check that out. So you get this lesson for free. And then earlier we had the seagull that you see behind me, and the pelican was last week, which he's kind of chopped off, but he's right up there. So anyway, we'll be finishing up the birds on the following Monday. The last Monday in February will be a toucan. So I'm looking forward to painting that and sharing that with all of you. But thank you to everyone who's been supporting me on my YouTube channel, helping me grow there. We're getting really close. The numbers are doing really good, and I really appreciate all of you and if you're new tonight, joining me, watch, say hello, let me know if you're new. I'd be happy to say hello to you. Because I've been seeing lots of new people popping on all the time and saying they just found me. So I think that's great. And I'm excited to have new people to share this with. I just enjoy so much painting, sharing one stroke painting with all of you and all the things that I've learned along the way. And I love sharing that with you. So before I get started into, let's see if that's everything I wanted to share with all of you. So tonight we're going to be doing this big tulip, all right? And then next week we're going to be doing a peony or peony, depending on what part of the country you're from. And then I will be sharing, that there's no live March 1st, right? I will be out of town, and there won't be a live on the 1st of March, but we will be coming back after that. And I've got all new demos to share with you for the month of March. Okay. So let's see. Questions. Jamie, so glad you caught me. I'm glad you caught me too. Freezing in New York. Let me tell you, You guys are all freezing up north, and we're down here having summer early because it's in the mid 80s and it's way too early to be that warm. Let's see. Let's pray for success. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate you so much. You're so sweet. Okay. All right. So let's talk about tonight's demo. Okay. I'm going to be sharing with all of you how to create a really beautiful tulip design. And it's not difficult to do. It just takes a few extra steps to get this kind of ruffly, streaky looking set of petals on this tulip. So I'm going to get overhead and we're going to get started on this. Okay, so here's the design. Let's set this aside. And I have my colors all out and ready to go. So I thought I had used magenta in this, but I have not. I wrote it down, but I don't think I ended up using it because I didn't see it anywhere in the design. So the colors I'm working with are sap and citrus green for the leaves, daffodil yellow and apple red, and wicker white for the tulip petals. And then I have some floating medium here too. So we're going to start with a little bit of a sketch, okay? Because I want you to see it. If you just do a little bit of planning, this comes together nicely. All right, and so sometimes it can be a little intimidating to do something this large and have it come out in a nice shape. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just decide where my tulip head's going to sit. And so center of my page is right here, and I want the bottom of that tulip to sit right at that center line here, okay? And so from there, I'm going to come up a spread 4 fingers. So this is a big size, right about there. All right. And then we're going to have the sides are going to come out and down on both sides. So if you just get that kind of, it's a little pinched at the bottom, right? It's not so much a bowl shape as it is a little pointy at the bottom. And then we have some petals that are going to come in, and we've got a back petal right here, okay? So that's all you need to do, right? You just want to have that kind of shape so that you're not struggling and sad when you don't get the shape that you want, okay, or the shape that we're going for. So I'm going to get my 3/4 flat damp, lay that on some paper towel. We're going to come over here and we're going to load. So I'm going to load with a lot of red. So this is apple red, and then I'm going to come over next to my daffodil yellow and work that into about 1/3 of my brush. Okay, so it's mostly red, and then we've got a yellow edge. Okay, I'm going to get some medium and work that in. And so the back petal is the first one that we want to address. So I want you to see, this is right here, and you only need to do as much of that petal as is going to be seen. So you don't have to come all the way from the bottom. So right here, I'm going to come and I'm going to push up, and we'll give a little bit of a bump, and then we're going to come stand back down. Okay, well, let's come down a little closer so you can see. All right, now one thing I didn't do that I should have done first is we have a petal that comes from behind here and well, actually you can't do it that way, so I didn't do it wrong. So you want to come from behind, and then you're going to stand to the chisel and then roll it over and come in front. Okay. So then I can come right back in here. Let's get stronger yellow. Right, and I just want to have that kind of come in front of the back petal right there. Okay, so we've got this one, then it kind of rolls over and then comes across the front. Now, before I leave that, I want to come and get some white on my yellow edge. So I'm going to side load some white. Let's get a little more red on the back side. All right, so here I'm going to come in on this, straight on the chisel in this curve, and then we're going to lay it in front, and that's going to light that right up. Okay. All right, now we have the middle center petal that's lower than the front, or lower than the back, excuse me. And so I want to come right in here, and we're going to, let's come up from the bottom, and we're going to make a bit of a point right there, and then we're going to come right in front of that one I just stroked. All right, and then let's push here, because we want to fill in this center. Okay, now we just have 2 more petals to do, but they're fairly large petals. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to come from the bottom around this outside edge. We're going to drag this all the way up, and we're going to come to a point here, and then we're going to push and push and push and twist with your fingers as we come back down to the base of the tulip. I'm going to side stroke some white. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side, but it's going to be more comfortable and for me and easier for you to see if I turn this way. All right, so here we're going to slide up with pressure. We're going to come to this point, and then we're going to reverse and push and push and push, and then come back down to the base. Okay, so that's the base of our tulip. Now, I'm going to switch brushes, and I'm going to go to a 12 flat. And what we're going to do here is a couple of things. All right, we're going to start adding some of this detail. So let's come a little closer even. So with this 12 flat, first thing I want to do is I want to come in on this back and add a bit of a highlight rolled over edge on that tulip. So I'm going to load with the yellow because that's the color that's back here. And then I'm going to side stroke some strong white. And I want a little bit of red in that yellow because it's darker. Grab a little more yellow. There we go. I want to try to match that color of yellow back here. All right, so right here, what we're going to do is we're going to start on the chisel on the top of the petal with the white edge down. And we're going to slide from left to right, and we're going to push down and lift, push down and lift, twisting with my fingers, and I'm going to come back up to the other side. All right, so it's giving a little rolled over look to that back petal. Okay, now I'm going to come and let's pick up some more of that yellow. And by picking up, I mean I'm going to grab some yellow, I'm going to grab some white, and I'm going to come to the top of this petal right here. And we're going to push and streak down. Push and streak down. Grab some white, and we're pulling this down. A little bit of white, a little bit of yellow, following the curls in this petal. Let's come here. And we'll come right here. Okay, now we're going to come to the other side and do the same thing. A little bit of yellow. I'm going to grab just a touch of red with that and a touch of white. And let's turn this a little bit. Actually, before I get too far, let's come right here in the middle. All right, so here we're going to pull this in, pull this in. So you're just on the chisel edge of the brush and you're pulling down. You're not pushing. You're not laying to the flat. You're staying on the chisel. And pulling that down into the red. Okay. Now let's come to this side. So same colors. I'm going to grab some yellow, a little bit of white. And let's come from up here on the back. And we're going to pull that down, pull that down. I got to turn it this way. I'm going to pull it the wrong way. There we go. So you want to pull it this way. Grab a little white. Okay, so we've got that really pretty streaks of color coming from the tip of the petals. There. All right, now I want to wipe this brush off and come get some of this red. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull that back up into those light streaks. So we've got a form to follow now, so we can follow the outside edge of that tulip. Right here, more red. And you're pulling those streaks up into the edges of the ones you pulled down. So you're slightly overlapping them and lifting as you do. Okay. And if you want, you can do a little in here. I just want to be careful if I pick up any light color that I wipe that off or come get strong red so that I keep it dark here in the center. See right there, I should have wiped that off. All right, now this all has to dry and then we can do some shading. Yes, this is a number 12 flat. All right, now let's come back to our 3/4 flat. We're going to come zoom back out here a bit. And we're going to double load our 3/4 with our 2 greens, sap and citrus. Now I want these to be a little lighter. This is a spring flower, so I want a little more citrus. I'm pushing that sap over. So if you get a color on your brush and you're over too far with one, you know, you can twist and favor the color you want, and then as you push down, it will shove the color on the other side over. Okay, so if you start out loading too much of one color, you can always shove it like that, twisting, and it'll push that dark green over. Now I want to get just a little bit of white on the citrus, brighten that up a bit. We're going to dip into medium, work that in, and we're good to go. All right, so right here at the base of our tulip, let's come down a little bit because I want you to see this. I want you to see everything, right? So our base of our tulip is right here. And these tulips, the tops of the stems have this kind of little flat pedestal. So if you bump that up a little bit, around the base of the flower and just grab it like that. Then you can pull your stem down on the chisel, okay? A little bit of pressure. These have really thicker stems. All right, so let's come back and get fresh color here. A little more white. Medium. Okay. So now what I want to do is this back petal, I want to have a little bit of the red from my tulip in there. So I'm going to grab some red on the chisel and I'm going to work this into my color. Grab a little more of that. There we go. So that's going to tint. That's good. Right there. That's going to tint my leaf a real pretty color. So when we start doing tulip leaves, right, they start on the chisel on an upward angle at the base of the stem, and then you're going to push to half sprung on the flat of the brush and bring the front edge forward, sliding through with the dark. Okay, now if you need to, you can come back down the other way. There we go. All right, and that gives a really pretty color in with that red tone. Okay, now we're going to do another one on the other side. So we're going to come up here again. We're straight up on the chisel. We're going to lay down to the flat. And we're going to bring the light green forward, give a little bit of a twist. There we go. And then we're going to do a rolled leaf. So this is going to be a leaf that comes up and then it's going to bend over. And we're going to flip the leaf forward. So this one I want my light color down. I'm going to lead with my dark. I'm going to push down on the flat, right? And then I'm going to stand up here on the chisel. I'm going to roll it forward and do a little bit of a twist as we come to the chisel. Okay. Now, if that's difficult to do, you can just go up this far and stop. And then you can resume where you were here and roll it forward, right? So you're just flipping the brush and then starting the roll. Now, it's good if you can get a little bit lighter color on that outside edge right here. There we go. There. Okay, so you've got a really pretty rolled. Let's bring this back down. There we go. All right, now one thing I like to do is just come back in and bring our tulip stem kind of out from behind. Let's give it a little dark here. There we go. Okay, so just bring it up in front a little, kind of between those leaves. There. Okay, so those are the leaves. And now what we want to do is address the shading in here because this needed to dry for us to do that shading and it feels pretty dry. So I'm going to come in with my 12 flat and I'm going to load floating medium, clean floating medium. And then let me grab some red over here and I'm going to work that into half of my brush. Right? So you're going to side load onto half of your brush. And I'm going to come get just a touch of the sap green and work that into my red. Get a little bit more red. That got a little too dark. But that's how you can shade or tint the shade of red with green for shading. Okay. So to shade inside this tulip, right, we can come right along in here. I want to make sure that's dry before I do this. And we're going to, on the flat, go around that top of that front petal, right? So you're shading between the front and the back petal. And then we're going to come right through here. And we're going to follow this one down. I need a little bit stronger. There we go. All right, so it's in an opening, creating an opening. Let's turn this upside down. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Right there, down to that tip, or down to the top of the stem. See the difference that made? And let's come right in here. We'll add a little bit to, and then here for sure we need some. Coming around that one that's coming in front from behind, right? In front. Okay, now you can do the same thing with the light color. And what I want to do here is I'm going to load medium again. I just cleaned that brush. I'm going to load medium again. I'm going to come and side stroke some white. Okay, and what you can do here is let's come right through here for a highlight on here. You can add a little bit of a highlight right there. You can get some yellow worked in with that white. And we can come right in here and pull that down. Grab some more white. Get some more of that yellow. Let's come back here. And just really lighten up these lighter edges and give them some ruffles. Okay. Little bits of color, the medium and white and yellow. You can pull some of that back down again. So you can have a lot of fun with these looks with these tulips. You give them kind of a parrot tulip style. Okay, so then we're going to get some inky green. And we'll come right here. Actually, let's clean this up a little bit and sign that. And there is our tulip. I hope you enjoyed that little demonstration and that you learned a lot from that. Give that a try. I think you'll like it. I think that's going to be kind of a game changer for you, to misuse a word that a lot of people are using these days. But it definitely will open up some opportunity to be a little more detailed in our strokes. So that is our tulip. Thank you guys for joining me for that. Let's come back up to our front camera here and say goodbye. Oh, happy Valentine's weekend, Sandy. That's nice. Thank you. See if I missed any questions. I don't see any. Challenging us to the next level. I'm trying. That's my goal. So, and I'm not coming on to do these demonstrations to show off, guys. I really do want to try and challenge you to try these, because I think you'll find that you can do them. Just takes a little practice, and you'll be happy with it. So, all right, let's see if there was light bulb moment for you, Greg. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad. Jamie, you're going to sign up for the classes. Atta girl. I'm excited to have you come join us. Okay, terrific. So tonight's winners are going to do the drawings, and then I will say good night to you. And thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting me as always. You guys are wonderful to spend some time with me on your Saturdays when you could be doing something else with somebody else. I appreciate it so much. So I'm going to do a drawing. So we've got the little tufted titmouse painting and the bullfinches painting ready to send out to our lucky winners tonight. So let's go ahead and we'll draw on our Facebook comments first. And we have Leanne Labiuk. Leanne Labiuk, you're going to get the titmouse painting signed by me. It will come to you. So Leanne, I don't know that we've shipped anything to you before, so I need you to private message me. You're on my Facebook feed, so you can private message me there with your address, and I will send that right off to you. Congratulations. And then our bullfinches is going to go to, oh, Teresa, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, guys, make sure you give me good thumbs up if you're watching on my YouTube feed. That helps me to grow and helps YouTube to see that you like me, so that they keep putting me out in front of more and more of you. That's how I'm finding some of you, or you are finding me, and I want to keep doing that. So if you can give me a thumbs up if you like tonight's live, I really appreciate it. Okay, thank you, Teresa, for reminding me. We're going to do the drawing on YouTube, and the winner for that is Lois Monk. Okay, Lois, and I think I have your address, but if you wouldn't mind, please private message me with your address, and I will get that painting off to you. That is the bullfinches painting that I did in Paintabilities this past month. So congratulations to both of our winners, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. As always, thank you for spending your Saturday with me, just a little bit, and I will see you all again next week. I was making sure, I didn't want to say it. Yeah, so February 22nd, I will be back on. Make sure you're watching Paintabilities this Monday, the shorts that come out on Wednesday, and the demo replays that come out on Thursdays. And then I'll be back again on Saturday. Okay, thank you guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.